Sean, a 3-year-old in your preschool class, recently broke his arm and is in a cast. The doctor has cleared Sean to return to school with only minor restrictions. However, his mother is very concerned he will be further injured and has asked that you assure her he will not be bumped or pushed while at school and to keep him in for recess for the next 8 weeks. You realize her requests will be a bit difficult to honor and will most likely upset Sean unnecessarily when he realizes he cannot play outside with his friends. How can you best navigate this situation? A. Set up a time to speak with Sean's mother to better understand her concerns. Work with her to find an acceptable solution that will assure her Sean is safe and allow Sean to enjoy his time at school without unnecessary restrictions. B. Tell the other children to stay away from Sean but take him outside anyway. It's an unreasonable request. He can play by himself on the swings. C. Tell his mother it is impossible for you to meet her demands and she will need to relax. Sean will be fine. D. Tell Sean's mother she needs to keep him home until he can fully participate with his classmates. Answer. A. Set up a time to speak with Sean's mother to better understand her concerns. Work with her to find an acceptable solution that will assure her Sean is safe and allow Sean to enjoy his time at school without unnecessary restrictions. Sean is only 3 years old and his mother is understandably concerned for his welfare even though she's being told he will be fine. While you may think she's being unreasonable, Sean is her child and it's her job to protect him as she sees fit. Speaking with her to address her concerns will help you develop a trusting relationship with her and allow Sean to interact more reasonably while he is in his cast. At the child care center in which you work, 2 teachers work in every room. Your co-teacher often takes breaks to answer her cell phone or go down to the hall to get a snack. She often steps out without notifying you that she is leaving. So far, nothing has happened while she is absent, but you are worried about being alone with the children. What should your first course of action be in this case? A. Ignore her absences. They are brief and there are teachers in other rooms who you can call if you need help. B. Immediately notify your supervisor of her absences and ask her to deal with the issue. C. Talk to your co-teacher about her habits and your concerns about safety and policies. D. Keep a log of her absences and, after a reasonable period of time, report her to her supervisor. Answer. C. Talk to your co-teacher about her habits and your concerns about safety and policies. First, follow all policies of your care center. Since the children are still being adequately supervised under your care, the first step would be to discuss the issue with your coworker. If her behavior does not immediately change, her supervisor should be notified. The safety of the children is paramount. All policies and practices of the care center should be followed by all employees at all times. Michael and Ben are playing with the trucks in the block area. Ben takes a truck from Michael and Michael hits Ben with a block. Ben and Michael are both crying. The teacher, who is reading a book to several students in the library area, yells over to Ben to stop taking other children's toys. What should she be sure to do in situations like this that she did not do this time? A. The teacher should be sure to help prevent children from hurting each other. B. Have enough trucks for several children to be playing at a time. C. Remove both children from the block area and put them in timeout. D. She should not be reading across the room. Answer. A. The teacher should be sure to help prevent children from hurting each other. The teacher should address the situation directly, at the very least explaining to the boys that hitting is not okay and ask Michael to apologize. She should enforce her belief that the children cannot hurt each other through her daily classroom routines, such as posted class rules and regular interactions with students when they do strike out. To help your parents feel connected and in touch with what is going on in your classroom, you can do which of the following? A. Send home a weekly newsletter. B. Have a year-end party and let them know everything you did all year. C. Tell the children to tell their parents what they are doing. D. Tell them during their conference time in December. Answer. A. Send home a weekly newsletter. Sending home a weekly newsletter is an easy way for you to let your parents know what is going on in the classroom, advise them of special activities, let them know of volunteer opportunities, and remind them of important information. Sally's mother approaches you and tells you she's unhappy with what you're teaching in class. While you plan the individual lessons for your class, the weekly themes are decided by your director. How should you handle the situation with Sally's mother? A. Tell her if she doesn't like it, she can talk to your director. B. Set up a time when you can sit down with her to discuss her concerns. C. Find out what she doesn't like and change it. D. Tell her you're sorry she doesn't like it, but you're the professional and you know what you're doing. Answer. B. Set up a time when you can sit down with her to discuss her concerns. From time to time, parents will approach you with questions regarding what you're teaching. In most cases, while it's easy to feel like you must defend what you're doing in your class, it's really just a matter of finding out what the concern is and addressing it directly with the parent. What is the benefit of playing the following game during a transition? If your name starts with an A, you can line up. A. Practicing beginning letter sounds. B. Helps the transition go smoothly. C. Keeps the children engaged and reinforces learning. D. All the above. Answer. D. All the above. Having strategies for transitions can keep children engaged during longer transitions, reinforce concepts, and provide predictable outcomes for your students. Sing songs, recite rhymes or poems, count steps or follow short directives to help students move from one activity to another. You have a field trip to the zoo coming up in 2 weeks and, for many of your students, this will be their first field trip and their first ride on a school bus. What can you do to prepare the children for this exciting but potentially stressful event? A. Tell them there is nothing to be worried about, the trip will be fun. B. Talk about animals with the students so they will know what they will see that day. C. Read books about zoos, show them pictures of the animals they will see in practice getting on a school bus. D. Allow scared students to ride with their parents. Answer. C. Read books about zoos, show them pictures of the animals they will see in practice getting on a school bus. Field trips can be both exciting and stressful for small children. In a supportive environment, changes in routine are discussed with children in advance and caregivers share as much information as possible to help the children feel more comfortable. Reading books on the venue, showing photographs, visiting a school bus and talking openly with the students by addressing their questions and concerns will help the students enjoy this exciting day. It's raining outdoors and gross motor time will have to be indoors today. Another teacher's class is in the gross motor room. What can you do in your classroom to help the kids get rid of that excess energy? A. Read a book about soccer. B. Give each child a colored scarf and have them dance to music. C. Set up a painting activity. D. Have the children set the table for snack. Answer. B. Give each child a colored scarf and have them dance to music. You can provide a great gross motor experience for the children by giving them scarves and having them dance in place to the music. They can hop, jump, turn around and balance on one foot, great physical activity without needing a lot of space. Your program serves breakfast and lunch every day. The Policies and Procedures Handbook, which is given to all parents and staff, indicates students will wash their hands before each meal. Washing hands takes so much time with your class that you are often running late after breakfast. You should. A. The kids eat breakfast right after they arrive. Most of them probably washed hands at home. There is no need to do it again. B. Review your processes and adjust your schedule to allow time for hand washing. C. Tell your director you disagree with the policy and no longer follow it. D. Use sanitizing lotion before meals. Answer. B. Review your processes and adjust your schedule to allow time for hand washing. If your center/program mandates hand washing prior to meals, and it should, and you inform the parents of that policy, you must follow through every day, every meal. Small children can take longer to do even basic tasks than older children, however the task must still be performed. Plan your schedule so you are not up against a time crunch right after meals. For example, have center time after breakfast so that children can eat at their own pace and go to a center when they have finished eating, as opposed to having an organized activity that would cause children to rush or feel left out. A child in your class is going through a rough time at home. You go out to dinner with friends after work. You share the child's story with your friends. Which of the below is the best response? A. It's okay to talk about work with your friends as long as you don't tell them the child's name. B. It's okay to talk about work with your friends as long as they don't work with you. C. You should not share children's stories with anyone except the professionals in your center. D. You should not share children's stories. Answer. C. You should not share children's stories with anyone except the professionals in your center. While it might seem acceptable to share the stories of the children in your care, you are, in fact, breaking their confidentiality. Their stories are private and should only be shared with appropriate educators and staff in your center, as needed for the welfare of the student. Which of the below is an example of active exploration? A. Listening to a book read during circle time. B. Listening to a song sung by the teacher. C. Playing with measuring cups and spoons in the sand table. D. Coloring a picture of Elmo. Answer. C. Playing with measuring cups and spoons in the sand table. Children learn best when they are actively engaged. Listening to a story or coloring a picture have their place. However, the more opportunities children have to explore their environment and try different things, the more meaningful their learning experience will be. Brian is a 2-year-old in your class. Today he's had a rough day, and after nap, he bit Cassie, another of your students, and left a mark. You write up the incident report as required by your school. You are also required to let both parents know what happened. How should you inform Cassie's parents? A. Let them know Cassie was bit by another student. The bite area was washed with soap and water and, per Cassie's request, a Band-Aid was applied. B. Tell Cassie's parents that Brian bit her and that he was put in timeout. C. Tell Cassie's parents that Brian bit her and that you will keep Brian away from her from now on. D. Tell them Cassie was bit by another student and that you will let his parents know how inappropriate his behavior was. Answer. A. Let them know Cassie was bit by another student. The bite area was washed with soap and water and, per Cassie's request, a Band-Aid was applied. Unfortunately, 2-year-olds bite each other from time to time. When it happens in your classroom, it is important to treat the situation with respect when relaying information to the parents. If their child has a bite mark from another student, let the parents know you have taken care of the affected area and their child is fine. Do not share information on the other child or allow your personal feelings to enter into your conversation with them. For an educator, what does it mean to be a lifelong learner? A. You learn something new every day. B. You willingly attend conferences and seminars to keep up to date on the latest educational trends. C. It takes some people longer to learn and, for them, it feels like a lifetime. D. When you teach children, you learn from them. Answer. B. You willingly attend conferences and seminars to keep up to date on the latest educational trends. Teachers must become lifelong learners in order to keep abreast of the latest educational trends, laws, and best practices. Teachers are not done learning once they earn their degree and must continue to grow and learn to be the best educators possible. Ben is having trouble sharing trucks today. Earlier he took a truck from another student and the student hit him. He is back in the block center and again is trying to take the trucks from others in the play center. Ben's teacher realizes he needs some guidance. What should she do? A. Immediately remove him from the center and put him in timeout. B. Get down on his eye level and talk to him about sharing and how to ask a friend if you can play with a toy they are using. C. Advise him how disappointed she is in him and tell him he can no longer play with trucks in her classroom today. D. Get another truck and give it to him. Once he has one, he will be fine. Answer. B. Get down on his eye level and talk to him about sharing and how to ask a friend if you can play with a toy they are using. When working with children, a common concern is their inability to share. This is a learned skill and a good teacher will be patient and understanding with her students, working with them regularly on how to share and why we need to share. You and your classroom teacher find several preschool bookshelves in the storage area. You are very excited to use them in your classroom. The first thing you should do is A. Check them for sharp edges and splintering. B. Ask your director if she is okay with you using them. C. Measure to make sure they will fit in the classroom. D. Make sure the other teachers in the school are not planning on using them. Answer. A. Check them for sharp edges and splintering. Each choice has merit, however, your first concern must be safety. The bookshelves are not suitable for your classroom if they are splintering or have sharp edges. Both can cause injury to your preschoolers. Carson runs a family child care practice from her home. Some children in her care often bring stuffed animals or blankets from home. The children like to keep these with them at nap time. Carson is afraid that the things from home might get lost or misused by the other children. In this situation, what would be your best advice for Carson? A. Ask the parents to keep all possessions at home. B. Designate a separate place for these items to be taken out only at nap time. C. Let the children keep these items with them throughout the day to avoid having the others use them. D. Tell all the students to bring stuffed animals or blankets so that they won't want to use others. Answer. B. Designate a separate place for these items to be taken out only at nap time. Since only some of her charges bring home possessions, Carson should find a safe place for these to be kept until they are needed at nap time. The stuffed animals and blankets comfort these children and help them relax. Keeping them separate will help keep them clean and properly used. Parents should be made aware that other children may handle these items and that any items which they do not want even briefly shared should be kept at home. Carson should follow all sanitation rules for any items in her care practice. A child in your class is wearing shoes that are much too small and appear to hurt his feet when he walks. How should you proceed? A. Tell his parents to buy him new shoes. He can't wear shoes that are too small for him. B. Buy him a pair of shoes and throw his old pair away. C. Ask his mother if she has a minute to speak with you. Explain what you have noticed and let her know you are supportive of her child and want him to be comfortable. D. Tell your coworkers how horrible this mother is for not providing her child with shoes that fit. Answer. C. Ask his mother if she has a minute to speak with you. Explain what you have noticed and let her know you are supportive of her child and want him to be comfortable. When a child does not have proper clothing, it can be tough to talk to his parents because there can be a variety of factors involved. Be respectful and gently describe what you're seeing and explain why it is important for him to have shoes that fit. The parent may still be upset, but if you are respectful and caring, you have done the right thing. Tommy's mom tells you he has hives and the doctor has given him a cream that must be applied after nap. She provides the doctor's note and instructions along with a bottle containing a portion of the cream that has been prescribed. What is the first thing you should do? A. Put the medicine out of the reach of the students. B. Tell her you are not authorized to administer medicine. C. Confirm the medicine is clearly marked with Tommy's name, the type of medicine and the times to be given. D. Give the medicine and the instructions to your director. Answer. C. Confirm the medicine is clearly marked with Tommy's name, the type of medicine and the times to be given. In most cases, it is appropriate to administer medicine to your preschoolers. However, you must assure all medicines are correctly marked to avoid accidentally giving medicine to the wrong child, giving an incorrect dose, or giving the child too little or too much medicine during the school day. Best practice is to require the medicine be housed in the container the pharmacist provided. A caregiver is working with a group of children whose primary language is different from her own. As best practice, the caregiver might seek to do all but which of the following? A. Attend a workshop on the latest developments in bilingual education. B. Read professional journals to find out more about dual language learning. C. Advise parents to speak to children in English only at home. D. Work to increase fluency in a second language. Answer. C. Advise parents to speak to children in English only at home. A professional caregiver working with dual or multi-language children will seek to increase her knowledge by reading journals, attending workshops, and consulting professionals in the field. She might also work to increase her fluency in a second language, which will help her communicate with parents and children. Children whose parents speak a different primary language at home can learn to be fluent in both their primary language and the language used in the care center. Roberts's parents only speak Spanish. What can you do to help communicate what he's doing in school every week? A. Nothing, it will take too long to learn Spanish. B. Learn few words like hello, goodbye, and see you tomorrow. C. Have your weekly newsletter translated into Spanish so his parents will be able to get the same information as the other parents. D. Take a class in Spanish so next year you can talk to Robert's parents. Answer. C. Have your weekly newsletter translated into Spanish so his parents will be able to get the same information as the other parents. There are a lot of strategies you can use when you have students in your class that don't speak the same language. One of the ways to keep the parents involved is to send home materials in their home language so they can be involved and support their child in school. Caregivers should take advantage of opportunities in order to continue their growth as professionals. The caregiver should keep current with new laws and regulations which affect child care, children, and families. Which of the following is least likely to serve this goal? A. Digital media. B. Online websites. C. Educational textbooks. D. State bulletins. Answer. C. Educational textbooks. Textbooks are least likely to be current. The caregiver should keep current by visiting reliable web sources, such as digital media resources and online websites. State bulletins can be accessed in hard copy or digital formats. These are issued periodically. Textbooks are generally not updated as frequently. In the 4 to 5 class, Carl has been unsettled all morning, ignoring directions and refusing to participate in activities. He usually cooperates and has a cheerful attitude. Which of the following actions would be best practice in this situation? A. Call Carl's parents and ask them to take him home for the rest of the day. B. Take Carl aside and ask him if there might be something that is troubling him. C. Remove Carl from the group and give him a timeout. Review the rules with him before he returns to the group. D. Ignore his behavior until he does something severe, such as hitting or pushing. Answer. B. Take Carl aside and ask him if there might be something that is troubling him. Since Carl is acting differently than he usually does, it would be best practice to take him aside to discuss what might be troubling him. He may be feeling ill or have some problem with another student. If he indicates that the problem is at home, follow agency policies for reporting. Carl should not be punished for being unsettled, troubled, or ill. Which of the following activities will allow children to experiment with the written word? A. Listening to a book on tape. B. Making a shopping list for the grocery store center. C. Having a story read to them during circle time. D. Trying on shoes in the shoe store center. Answer: B. Making a shopping list for the grocery store center. All of the above activities have the potential to expose the students to the written language, but actually using it and writing down orders will allow them to experiment with the written word. Some will write scribbles, some will have beginning letters, and some will have a few more correct words or letters, but each of them is learning about the written language. You know your classroom should be language-rich. What does that mean to you? A. There should be meaningful conversations between the adults and the children in your classroom. B. The written word should be evident in your classroom. C. There should be at least one story read a day in your classroom. D. All the above. Answer: D. All the above. To have a language-rich environment for your students, evidence of the language should be apparent in all areas of your classroom. Label objects on shelves, read to the children daily, have meaningful and purposeful conversations with them, and engage them in activities where they can experiment with the written and spoken word. Typical 3-year-olds can usually do which of the following? A. Identify some letters. B. Identify some colors. C. Participate in pretend play. D. All the above. Answer: D. All the above. 3-year-olds can vary greatly on skill level, however typically developing 3s can identify at least a few letters, especially those in their names, identify a few numbers and are capable of pretending while playing, though the level of fantasy will vary by child and experience. You are going on a field trip with your 4-year-old class to a nearby farm. You have sent home information on the trip and have invited parents to attend if they would like. Due to age restrictions for the trip, you have asked that no siblings attend with chaperones. A few of the mothers are very angry that you will not allow them to bring their younger children. What should you do in this situation? A. A rule is a rule. If they don't like it, they don't have to go. B. Be patient with the parents that are upset and explain this is not your decision but that of the farm and is based on their safety guidelines. Let them know you sympathize with their frustration but are not allowed to make exceptions. C. It's a silly rule and you are not going to let your parents be upset. Let them bring the younger children, it's a farm. What kind of safety issues could there be? D. Cancel the trip and plan something else. You cannot have angry parents. Answer: B. Be patient with the parents that are upset and explain this is not your decision but that of the farm and is based on their safety guidelines. Let them know you sympathize with their frustration but are not allowed to make exceptions. Whether or not you agree with the farm's rule, as visitors to this venue, you must be respectful and adhere to their guidelines and requests. It may seem like an easy out to allow parents to break the rules, but you must remember, you are the professional and must be a good role model. Explain the farm's rules to your parents, listen to their concerns and allow them to make the best decision for their family based on the information you share. A student in your class, Tommy, hit another student today while on the playground. Tommy wanted the tricycle and the other student did not want to share it with him. You fill out the appropriate incident reports and assure both students are fine. When Tommy's mother picks him up, what should you tell her? A. Nothing, it was no big deal. No need to upset her. B. Tell her Tommy hit another student but it was understandable because the other child would not share. C. Tell her Tommy should not be hitting and to make sure she takes care of his behavior. D. Let her know Tommy hit another child and sat in time out for a few minutes after apologizing to the child. Assure her this is typical behavior and the rest of Tommy's day went smoothly. Answer: D. Let her know Tommy hit another child and sat in time out for a few minutes after apologizing to the child. Assure her this is typical behavior and the rest of Tommy's day went smoothly. From time to time, preschoolers will hit each other. It is important, when conveying the incident to parents, to project confidence that the situation was handled appropriately. Which of the following should you do on a weekly basis in your classroom to assure you prevent the spread of germs? A. Wash the curtains. B. Clean soiled toys with your school's preferred cleaning solution. C. Vacuum the rugs. D. Refill your tissue boxes. Answer. B. Clean soiled toys with your school's preferred cleaning solution. While all are good practice, the one that should be done at least weekly is washing the toys in your school's preferred cleaning solution, and more often when you have children with cold or flu symptoms. Rugs, blankets, curtains should receive regular cleaning as needed, and your tissue boxes should be filled whenever they are empty. An activity that provides opportunities for the children to sort and classify promotes development. A. Gross motor. B. Small motor. C. Social. D. Cognitive. Answer. D. Cognitive. Sorting and classifying objects help children develop cognitively by learning concepts that will assure they are ready for kindergarten and beyond. Which of the following should a child be taught in preschool? 1. Full name, first, last. 2. Address. 3. Phone number. 4. Closest police station. A. 1, 2, and 4. B. 1, 2, and 3. C. 1 and 4. D. 2 and 3. Answer. B. 1, 2, and 3. Developmentally, a child of preschool age, 3 to 5 years, is ready to start to learn their name, address, and telephone number. This helps them develop a sense of self and allows them to begin to develop measures to keep themselves safe.